Somebody realized this year that this was our 50th anniversary, which we felt like the guy who forgets. So we knew we had to do something, and we were arguing about whose idea this was to have a party, but whoever it was a good idea, and thank you for that. 50 years of Friends. It's kind of amazing to think about all those people who had the same idea that we did, which is that supporting a library is absolutely essential for a vibrant community, and that's why we all put in this time. So thank you so much for coming to celebrate with us.
It was just a few years ago that our own little pink library actually was 60 years old. And in the early days, the people felt so deeply. In fact, this is wonderful just because the nature of Key West itself is from the time that the people first settled here, they brought their collection of books and they valued it deeply. And this is very much a part of what our community is and what it means. And then Michael and I were in the Florida room, and please be sure to stop by the Florida room. And there was this washed out charter. And if any of you can figure out a name, we have a prize for you. But it's there hanging up on the wall in the Florida room. And there it is, November 6th, 1972. And you are a part of all these adventures today. And then one of the big projects, and I just recently had several conversations with Ann McKee, and she sends her greetings to you folks. She's 99 years old. And she said, rich or poor, we all pitched in. First of all, she said we had to buy chairs. And then she said we were working on the book sales. They didn't have any place to store it. And then with the auditorium, she said everything just took off. But everybody was involved trying to make it all happen. And she said Margot Golan, who was involved with the Holiday Inn when it was here, was her mentor and how much she valued her. And then Margot and her husband and Tennessee Williams were two of the major donors to the auditorium. And then if you come to the Key West Literary Seminar, be sure, Lori Reed's going to do a fabulous welcome. And the literary seminar got a great start because the Friends were a 501c3 and provided that nonprofit status. And then what happened is they got a $150,000 grant from the National Humanities Council, and they were doing this feature on Tennessee Williams. And then it outgrew the library. So then they had to move it and expand it into what it is now. And for years, the Friends of the Library would provide the comp chowder lunch for them at the very close of the event. Now, book sales been the primary fundraiser, and now this is an early newsletter, and thanks to Roberta to come up with this. I appreciate it. Well, let me tell you, they used to have the book sales next to the high school, and they'd have them in the summer too. I know that folks who are involved in it today would appreciate that. And here was the first article that I saw. It said, everyone loves a bargain. And the good news is that our monthly book sales on the library grounds will resume at 10 o'clock in October, and thereafter the first Saturday of each month. This project was begun by Mrs. Margaret Pierce and continued by Rosie Tableau and Pauline Bray, and has brought in much needed funds for our library. Almost any kind of book may be donated for sale. Hardcovers sell for $0.25, paperbacks for $0.10, special art books, encyclopedias, and coffee table books sell for considerably more, but they too are bargains. If you have some old National Geographic, Smithsonian's, or other magazines, please leave them at the library. They will sell readily. You can either deliver the item to the library in advance of the sale or directly to the book sale. Also in great demand are comic books, jigsaw puzzles, record albums, games, and maps. But that's been a major part for the Friends over these years. And this is one of the early receptions. And at that time, the Friends had this for authors who lived in Key West, and there were over 50. And Phil Burton is the second person from the left. You know, this As you walk in, a lot of people have seen the mural, but did you know that there are names all around in the tile? That's what Susie DePoo had done. And here's what it is. The first major renovation the Friends were working with, and see, the library opened in '59, and then we had the Florida History Room and the auditorium, and the donors then gave each $1,000, and their name is on one of the tiles. So look around and see if there's anybody that you know and who were part of this. And they had trouble getting a theme for it. And once the poinciana flowers were in bloom, that gave kind of a touch of bright red. So take a look and study that. And then there's 2 Susie DePoo murals in the library. See if you can find the other one. And then the giving to support the library. And of course, here we have Wilhelmina and we have Shirley Freeman accepting a gift of $70,000 from the Friends for providing computers. And then we have the most recent one that just took place here in Key West. And now the Palm Garden, and Betsy's going to tell you a lot about that. She's been very intimately involved. And for several years, the library had a fundraiser, but they were all pictures from the Florida room. So people really came in here and bought calendars, and they sold out. And they were very, very popular. And that's been for 25 years of the speaker series. And Judith Gaddis particularly was very much a part of this speaker series. And as you look at the little brochure, you can see some more information related to that. And there's been some galas through the years. The first one I found, it was $10 to go to the gala, and then it would be at a sunset cruise on the Reef Queen. Do you know anything about the Reef Queen? Well, we'd leave the dock, foot of Duval Street, and you would go and get your ticket, and that would all be supporting the Friends of the Library. And then, of course, coming up February 13th is the event with Carl Hydison. So these are just some of the features that highlight, and in the booklet that you have, we've got a feature on Molly Shallow, who took like 1,000 books a year to the ships. And then Tom Clements, your picture's in here. Oh. It is. And I understand you were a treasure for 27 years. Yeah, that's just awesome. And then if you find, I found a few book plates. They put some books in memory, or in honor of you, really, of your work. That's just really great. But this then, putting this together, you may have some more ideas of what we can include, because this has been finding with a lot of interviews with people. And you will look forward to hearing more about some of the adventures of the Friends of the Library. Thank you. Yes, come on up.
I won't say I get it all right, because I certainly wasn't around, but one of my favorite stories, before they built this building, I don't remember, it was down there. And they found a marvelous place for it, which was in the meadows. And then the world came to an end. We cannot build that far out. We have to be in town. So that's how we're here.
As we look at the future of our library, and thanks for sharing that. This is a young lady who was new to this country, and the first responders were here, and she got so excited that she now is a first responder herself. So there's such a way in which the library makes a difference in the lives. And this is a collage of photos of just some of the many activities that take place as we celebrate the youngsters and their experiences in learning how to read and carry on this tradition of Key West being a community of readers. So we're all looking to the future. Thank you.